in my lack of sleep last night, because I was nervous about this whole thing, I just was thinking that, it's about the 16th note phrase, the swing 16th note phrase, and what separates the music is finding where your accent is on that 16th note phrase. So it's not about me knowing where their accent ends. It's about me finding where my accent begins. Was that deep?
Yeah, well.
I should have less sleep more often.
Please join me and the Kansas City Museum and UNESCO Creative City of Music as we introduce Mr. Fred Ferguson in the preservation of Reagan's Grave.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Just need to bring the towel so I can get under my arm. All right. And so, from the Bahamas, over the years, growing up in the Family Islands, I would have heard this guy named Joseph Spence that would have influenced what I thought music should be as a guitarist. I couldn't understand what he was saying. He was like grunting and groaning very hard and playing stuff that sounded like more than one guitar player to me. And so I had to figure out, firstly, that he did this whole tuning, this whole drop D tuning thing that freaked me out for a while, that changed your whole fingering process. And so the first high school competition that I would have won, ever, would have been me attempting to play a Joseph Spence song. And from then to now, I'm still trying to play a Joseph Spence song. So he did a lot of gospel stuff, like Living on the Hallelujah side. And so that would have been my introduction to that kind of thing. That's a drop D tuning. And so AM radio, once again, would have brought music from the US. And of course, there was this Bahamian band and musician that was called Ronnie Butler and the Ramblers. And he would have come from the traditional rake and scrape, which would have included the accordion and stuff, but they will have songs like old as standard American songs and folk songs that they will play. Emma, why I don't walk fast, prickling my foot. That's not English, don't worry about it, but it's like a Bahamian dialect. So there'll be that stuff with the concertina and the saw and the drum. But then Ronnie Butler, as a young man, made it pop. So the saw would be doing the rhythm, so it'll be, if you start 2, 3, 4, the saw will be making this kind of sound. So they will be bending the saw to make that different sound. Ronnie Butler decided that his drummer will play that rhythm on the hi-hats of his drum, so it'll be this way. And so he made the rhythms go. So that's the rhythm right like here. My Livingston, Josiah the JB, my Livingston. And see if you realize there's a lot of that chicken stuff happening here. The calypso from Trinidad is more softer here, you know, this way. Turks and Caicos goes but in the Bahamas we just rootsy and hard. Oh, let we go down to Bimini. Never get a licking till we go down to. Oh, let we go down to Bimini. And we just turned that baby around. We just turned that stuff around. And so
Junkanoo is the premier cultural event in the islands of the Bahamas. It is held on Boxing Day, December 26th, and New Year's Day, in the wee hours of the morning. Drums are at the center of Junkanoo music. Deeply rooted in African tradition, these instruments are the foundation of Junkanoo music. All else serves as accompaniment. Belonging to the family of instruments referred to as membranophones, animal skins were stretched across some kind of hollow cylinder and then beaten with the hand in order to produce a sound. The bass drum is considered to be the heartbeat and thunder of the ensemble. Many groups would carry dozens of them. In the early days, whiskey or rum kegs were used as the cylinders for these drums. Today, the 55-gallon oil drum is commonly used. Here is a brief sample of the sound of the bass drum. Junkanoo and Goombay drums were typically headed with goat or sheepskin. Master drummers like Peanuts Taylor, King Harrison, and the late John Chippy Chipman established a legacy for a youth like Zayvon, who will now demonstrate on the African djembe drum. When the drum set made its way to the Bahamas, Junkanoo drummers adopted and adapted the floor tom-tom by cutting the rim so as not to injure their fingers and tuning it to a higher pitch. A more desirable sound resulted, along with the benefits of not having to tune the drum by the fire, as was the practice with the goatskin drum. Lead drummers would synchronize 3 distinct beats that blended together and create a modern Junkanoo sound. This would be considered the first and the lead pattern. And here is the second lead pattern. And this is the third of the lead patterns.